And one thing that I think I've noticed for myself over time is that the more discipline and effort you put in trading, the more freedom you can have. So it's like the opposite. Like people expect to gain freedom, but they have to put in more work to gain freedom, like you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, and if we're being honest here, that's how I got in, thinking this is my way out. And then it turned out to be quicksand, and I got dragged in more and more and more to a point where I'm like, I was working 8 hours a day at my other job. I was working for a bank before, and now I'm doing close to 20 hours a day, 4 hours of sleep, and doing this over and over. I mean, I don't trade like that anymore, but I spent so much time into it that I don't think the average newcomer who comes into the industry realizes that there is no mid grounds. You actually have to go all in. Like I don't know, that word just keeps coming into my mind of you got to go all in with all your might, all your energy. You got to use all your background of when someone said you can't do this, you got to bring that energy in there as well. Whatever you have to do to get that fire going and saying I'm going to do this, whether it takes 1 year, 10 years, 50 years, and you come with that mindset of I got to push. So and there's no looking back.
Yeah, and I fully agree with that for sure. Because I've been doing the same. There's like a sacrifice mode that you have to go through sometimes when you start. Not like forever, but when you start.
Right.
And that is required for anyone. So what was that phase for you of like trying to make it work? What did you have to do exactly to make it work?
Well, for the longest time, it was the knowledge part, right? My first phase was I don't know what I'm doing. As much as I'm doing it, I don't know what I'm doing. So it's like even if I'm sitting here 20 hours a day, if I don't know what I'm supposed to do, then I'm just wasting time, right? It's like going to the gym and you practice the wrong way. It's actually going to be harmful than than beneficial. But so I was putting in a lot of hours. My mental capacity thinking, if I put in a lot of hours, I'll get the benefit from it. But you can't do it if you're doing it the wrong way. Obviously there's not one single right way. There's multiple ways, but I kept putting in the hours, doing the research, looking for techniques and strategies, what works best, and what can I do that will always make money and never lose. So that was my mental state at that point when I started. Then came to phase 2 when I did have an idea of what I need to do. Then stage 2 was the psychological barrier of, can you do this regularly? Can you do this frequently? Can you do this bigger, right? Because that's the next stage. It's like, okay, if you understand how the markets work, then why are you trading one mini lot? Step up your game. Show me. So that inner voice keeps battling you, saying, what's the point of trading one mini lot? Come on, like do standard lots. And then that's the next psychological barrier that you have to overcome. Because up until a certain point, money has a story behind it, right? Like. If you say I made $500 today, to some people that's rent, to some people that's shopping money, to some people it means nothing. But it has a meaning, right? That number has a meaning to many people. So in the beginning, you have to go through the psychological barrier to remove the meaning from the number, that this is just a number. It doesn't matter. So that part was hard for me because as in university, I had not much money to myself, and every penny counted. So every time I made a loss, I actually felt it. Like, that meant that's my rent, or that's my food, and so I really felt it. So that psychological barrier is like the next phase that you have to overcome.